Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Pangsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons, Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of Mother Devaki, and the Guru of the entire universe. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna again and again. Om peace, peace, peace. So we have finished, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, where in the book number 8, we finished chapter 8, where Shiva asked Narayana to show the divine mystic power, which is called Maya. How is Maya? And then Narayana became Mohini. And then he was so much lost into that. He was overwhelmed, and all these descriptions we have read the other day. Mohini becomes so loving, charming, etc. And that Shiva himself is the controller of all senses. He lost his own control even. So that beauty and that charming attitude is the Maya Shakti. And we have read in the last part of the chapter 12 that Shiva then said, did you observe the power of Maya, of the birthless one of the Supreme Lord? Talking to Bhavani, who was all the time, they're all together. And in between, the Mohini appeared, and Shiva was infatuated with that attraction of that charming personality of the Mohini. And she said, did you observe the power of Maya, of the birthless one, the Supreme Lord? I am the master of all arts, Shiva says. I am the master of all arts and the free. Yet I was enslaved and infatuated by his Maya. What then will be the condition of ordinary jivas who are bound by their karma? So she was saying that what you understand how difficult for ordinary jivas who are bound by their karmas, they can come out of Maya. If I am the Lord of God of the control, Shiva, and I was overwhelmed. Then we read, Shiva continues, on my coming to normal consciousness after 1,000 years of samadhi, you, Parvati, asked me the question on whom I had been meditating. Now, that one, that means the Parvati was answered this way, that this Shiva was absorbed in the timeless reality. That's why 1,000 years passed, but he didn't come out of the samadhi. Anyhow, so this was the last part we read. And the Sukadev then said, I am now finished describing you. The Mahavishnu supported this entire mountain of Mandara. No efforts on one who repeated on of or hears his glory. The type of story of the greatness of Lord Narayana. Naturally, he will be released from the vicious cycle of birth and death. I salute the Lord who fulfills the prayers of devotees that take refuge in him. And it is saying, Shukadev says, that I salute the Lord who fulfills the prayers of devotees that take refuge in him, who, achieving a false female form, filled the asuras with infatuation and enabled the devas to consume the ocean-born Amrita. The devas who sought refuge at his feet, which only bhakti can reveal, and which the faithless and the impious man cannot never reach. So he said that only by the grace of Narayana one can get real bhakti, and that real bhakti can reveal the glory of Lord Narayana. Now we start reading the chapter, which is the 8th chapter, a 13th chapter of the book 8. Skanda 8 is called Skanda, or the book 8 and chapter 13. And there is the Shukadev says, hear now from me about the offspring of the present Manu, the son of Vivaswan, or sun, the sun in the sky, famous under the name Shuddha Deva. Anyhow, so here is a description, is now Shukadev describing the last 7 Manu avatars. So I didn't find much to read. It is only the names of who become Manu, whose son, whose daughter, who's this, and then last 7 Manantaras, 9th to 14 Manantaras, and I do not see anything, so I am skipping over the entire chapter, 13th chapter, and 14th chapter. I actually I skipped the entire 13th chapter because that's the name of whose son become who become whom, and it is difficult to remember the names also, and so Sanskritized them. So I am skipping them. Oh, so the Devas, Savarni will be the 13th Manu, Chitrasena, Vichitra, and others will be his sons, Sukarma, Sutrama, and others will be Devas, like that. All these different names who have become already and who the Manus will be. Now the question came on the chapter 14, what is called the Manantara? What is Manantara? What is Manu? So Raja asked functions of Manu. So Raja asked on 14th chapter, verse number 1, O Holy One, please tell me, one, on what works or duties were these Manus commissioned by the Lord during the periods of their supremacy. So they are kings. So what they did that during that period of existence of the Manus. So that is also, he said, Shukadev said, O king, the Manus, the sons of Manus, Saptarishis, Indras, Devas, all function subordinated to the command of the Lord Narayana. So they are all under Narayana. The Manus, the son of the Manus, 7 rishis, and Indra and Devas, etc. The function of the Manus and others. What is the function of the Manus? Manantara. But each Manu, what does he function? It says that the function of the Manu, verse number 3, chapter 14, on page 353, the function of the Manus and the others is to maintain the world order and its progress under the direction of divine incarnation like Jagna and others of whom I have spoken to you earlier. At the end of the period of the 4 Jugas, Chatur Jugas, the 7 rishis, Saptarshis, by their austerity, tapas, would rediscover the Vedas, the most of which would have been gradually been swallowed by time by the end of the period. So when the one period of Manu ends, they all are consumed, all knowledge and everything, Vedas all get consumed into time. And when the again end of the period of the 4 Yugas, the 7 sages would rediscover these Vedas. That's why Saptarishis are eternal almost. They remain there to reveal the Vedas again and again. Good that Swami Vivekananda, being one of the Sapta Rishis who are there forever for the good of the world, rediscovers the Vedas as we get it now. Actually, the Vedic wisdom was lost, as we find now that Swami Vivekananda brought the Vedic wisdom, Boner Vedanto Ghare Ana. He brought it. So he was one of the rishis. How it matches here, Sapta Rishis and Bhagavat, verse number 4th of the chapter 14 of book number 8 says that the end of the period of the 4 yugas, the Saptarishis, by their austerities, tapas, they would rediscover the Vedas, most of which would have been gradually been swallowed by time. In time, people forget that and then lost totally. Actually, that was the situation of India and the world. People forgot the Vedic wisdom. Now we are hearing about that. It is rediscovered by Swami Vivekananda being born, one of the Saptarishis, as Ramakrishna said. By the revival of the Veda, the eternal dharma would be kept up. So, how it really matches this verse number 4 is very importantly said. Chaturjugante kalena vrasto achyutiganan jata tapusa rishayo apasyan jato dharma sanatana. So this Sanatan Dharma, the Vedic religion, the rishis found. Tato dharma chatuspadam. O king, the Manus inspired and directed by Mahavishnu and endowed with great powers of self-control, then they would then in that time set dharma in motion on all its 4 feet. So dharma will again regenerated by this. The sons of Manus, they will followed by their descendants, as also by the devas receiving the jagna offering, and their associates join in this work of maintaining the world order. So Manus and their children, they started reviving the Vedic religion, and the devas then started the Vedic religion. So the jagna started again offering jagna, and in the fire of jagna, the gods and goddesses, they get their share of the food. So world order was reset. Indra, who could be who could be in the enjoyment of the vast resources of all these 3 worlds, assigned to him by the Lord, would protect these worlds and give them abundance of rain. Then, because of that, Indra, when the home of fire is set, so much of clouds will be growing and rain will shower, and then crops will come and people will be abundant with rain, and that will give sustenance to the human. Now, Sihori, in all these ages, would impart spiritual wisdom by assuming the form of enlightened ones. So, many enlightened souls will be generated that way, and ritualistic practices will start functioning again, and by assuming the role of masters of them, and the path of yoga by appearing as great master yogis. So Indra will be coming, and with the rain, the resources of our life of the 3 worlds assigned to him, they would then protect these 3 worlds and give them abundance of rain and impart then spirit. There will be enlightened people come up again, and we impart spiritual wisdom. And the masters, assuming the role of masters, the path of yoga will again appearing as a great master yogis. So many master yogis and enlightened will be there, appearing by tapas and austerity, and also the homo fire. In the form of Projeshwara, he, the Lord, create this universe. As Indra, he slew the Dasyus, and as time, bringing all things and beings to an end. Though the Lord is described and praised by various scriptures and philosophies, man with perceptive power of his mind, dulled and destroyed by Maya, is not able to perceive him directly. So, though the Lord is praised as way described by various scriptures and philosophies, men will not be able to do anything because of his Maya, destructive Maya. They will not be able to perceive God directly. A Mahakalpa is the full lifespan of Brahma, lasting for two parardhas. In that, there are divisions of called intermediary kalpas, vikalpa, each of which stands for a day of Brahma. That's what has been said relates to the vikalpas, each of which wise men say has 14 manantas, periods of supremacy of Manus. So anyhow, I don't anything to understand. So we are. This is the end of the 14th chapter. Now I'm going entering into the 15th chapter. Now, Boli, this chapter 15, book 8, verse number 1, on page 354. Boli invades Indra's heaven. Now, as always happens, the Deva and Asura fight. The Boli is the, what you call, is the Lord God of the Asuras. Raja, again, Raja Parikshit asked, why did Sri Huri, the Lord of all, ask Mahabali for 3 feet of earth like a miserable beggar? There is a story that Bali was a great, has a pride that he is a very, what you call, he is very, he gives away everything anyone asks anything from him. So he will be able to, no one, anyone ask him anything, he will give away. So he has this charity, great charity, power of charity. So the Lord Hori, it is said that to destroy his ego or pride of a great charitable person, appeared as a Brahmana, and as a dwarf man. And he asked, can you, and then Boli said, what do you want? Then he said, oh, I don't want anything. I only want 3 steps of land. My 3 steps, a land of 3 steps. He said, what 3 steps? You can take long steps. You see, my whole world is up to me. I give you 3 steps. So then suddenly the dwarf man become in his divine form. 3. So one leg, he said, I shall put where? He said, put, and one leg covered the entire earth. And second leg, where to put earth and heaven and everything is covered by one leg. Then another leg on his head. And third leg, earth, heaven, and the dwarf man who is actually in guise Narayana came. So the Raja is asking, why did Sri Hari the Narayana, who is the Lord of all, ask Mahabali for 3 feet of earth like a miserable beggar? And why, after getting what he wanted, did the Lord bind him with a cords as a prisoner? I desire to know how the one who is self-fulfilled and without any want, who is the recipient of all sacrifice, could take a begging, and also how he could be, he would put fetters on an innocent person like Boli. So Boli was a good, at least he is charitable person. So why God came to him like a beggar? And God himself is the whole world belongs to him. So why is begging like a beggar? One point. Why after getting even what he wanted, why the Lord sacrifices the whole world offers could take a begging, take to begging, and also how he could put fetters in an innocent person like Boli. So it is very unjust, it appears. Please give me Orthopi Bhavantam and also his head, and why this thing happened to Boli. Now, the verse number 3, O King Mahabali was killed and deprived of all his prosperous realm by Indra, was revived by his teacher. His teacher's name was Bhrigus, including Shukra. Mahabali was killed in and deprived of all his prosperous realm, was killed by Indra, and was revived by his teacher Bhrigus. In return, Boli served those teachers with great sincerity and liberty. The Bhrigus, the clan of eminent Brahmanas, whose leader was Shukra, were very much pleased with Bali because of this service, who was desirous of conquering the heavenly region. These great administered to him the consecratory bath and made him perform the yajna known as Vishwajit Yajna, in which one must give away all one's possessions. So the thing comes like that, the story, the king Mahabali, O King Mahabali, who was killed and deprived of all his prosperous realm by Indra, was revived by his teacher Bhrigu and Sukracharya. So when Mahabali was given back to his life by Bhrigus, his teacher, whose name was Bhrigus, and his teacher, my guru, was Shukra also. As a result, Boli was very grateful to Bhrigus and Shukras and served these two teachers with great sincerity and liberality. When I worshipped them, respected them, and served them. The Bhrigus, the clan of eminent Brahmanas, whose head was headed by Shukra, were very much pleased with Boli. So Boli that did so much service to Bhrigus and Shukras that they were very pleased with Boli. But Boli was desirous of conquering the heavenly region. These great rishis administered to him means to Boli, the consecratory bath and made him perform a yajna. So said, Oh Boli, you perform this yajna. And what is the name of the yajna? It is called Vishwajit Yajna. One of the name of that special yajna, it is called Vishwajit Yajna, in which one must give away all one's possession. That was the condition. That if you could perform that yajna, then you will have to give away whoever comes as a charity at the end of the yajna. Out of the sacrificial fire came out a divine chariot, inlaid with gold and yoked to horses, which vied with Indra's steeds in color and having a flag with the emblem of a lion. So one chariot appeared out of the yajna. 6th verse. Also came out a never exhaustible quiver and an armor of heavenly workmanship. Boli was presented with an unfading garlanding of flowers by his grandfather Prahlada and a conch by the Rishi Shukra. So, at the end of the Yagna, the chariot came, and that was yoked with horses, and bride with Indra's steed in color, and having a flag with emblem of lion, and also came out a never exhaustible quiver. That means weapon, endless weapon in a quiver. That means he can fight forever. No one, he'll never be lacking any weapon. And an armor, which is for protection of heavenly workmanship. And Boli was presented with an unfading garland. He was giving a garland which color will not fade, and made of some flowers. Who gave it? By his grandfather. Boli's father's father is Prahlada. By Prahlada, and a conch shell was given by the Rishi Shukra Rishi, Shukradev. So after performing that Vishwajita Jagna, all these gifts came for Mahabali. Being thus equipped with armaments, with the help of these rishis, Boli circumambulated them and made obeisance to them and also to Prahlada, and then took his leave. So now, Bali was trying to control the whole heavenly world. So now he got, by doing that, performing that Jagna, he got all this special chariot, the quiver full of weapons, and all these special powerful things. Now, verse number 7, chapter 15, page 355. Being thus equipped with all armaments, with the help of these rishis, the rishis were gracious, and the rishis gave these blessings. So, equipped with that, all armaments, with the help of these rishis, Bali was very respectful. They circumambulated circumambulated the Bhrigu and Shukra. Bhrigu and Shukra circumambulated them, and also they made obeisance to them also, and also to Prahlada, who appeared from the Jagna and offered him the armors, etc. 8 and 9. He now shone like an Ahvani Agni, like a Vedic sacrificial fire of the household. As he seated himself in his chariot given by the Rishi Shukra of Bhrigu's line, with all equipment like bow, quiver, sword, armor, and with his personal decorations like garlands, shining armlets of gold and sparkling earrings, etc. So Boli got all these things from the performing that Jagna. Boli, bent on the conquest of the most splendorous heavenly region of Indra, now he entered into the Indra's kingdom, led his big Asura army, whose march caused tremors on the earth and in the intermediary regions. So all the Asuras, Bali led them and wanted to rule the three worlds, as it were, earth, heaven, and the intermediary regions. That army was full of Asuras chiefs who were equal to him in wealth and power. and who were so heroic that they seemed ready to drink up the sky with their mouths and to burn the quarters with their looks. So they are all powerful army supporting Boli, and Boli, bent on conquest of the most splendorous heavenly region of Indra, led his all Asura army to march. And that march was so violent that it created tremor on the earth and intermediary regions. That army was full of Asuras. They are all Asuras and Asura chiefs, powerful leaders of the Asuras, who are equal to him, equal to him and almost equally powerful like Bali, invincible in wealth and power. They are their wealth and their strength, and who are as heroic. They seem ready to drink, as if they are so powerful, as if they can eat or they can swallow the sky in their mouth, drink up the sky and their mouths with their mouths, and to burn the quarters with their look. So they are so powerful and demonic. Now the heaven, description of heaven. Now Indra was in the heaven. The heaven of Indra was so full of attractive features that it made the very deity of splendor lusterless. That means it was so beautiful, Indra's kingdom, attractive features, that it made the very deity splendor lusterless. The deity itself becomes, as if the deity means Indra. Indra is in comparison to his attractive features in the kingdom, is full of luster. It had famous gardens and parks like Nandana, great centers of natural beauty. Nandanban we hear about in the heaven. It is Indra's garden, garden and park. Indra's garden and park, beautiful, famous garden and park like Nandana, which is the great source of natural beauty, where celestial trees whose branches bend under the weight of tender leaves. And a tree full of leaves and branches, flowers and fruits, bend in the leaves, flowers and fruits. The tree is beautiful tree, and which harbored numerous birds warbling with their consorts, and humming bees inebriated with honey. So this is a description of Indra's celestial garden. And it has lotus lakes, abounding in many kinds of water. And there is water birds like swan, crane, chakravakas, various types of karanadavas, karanadavas, and providing facility for water sports for hilarious celestial women attended by their male companions. So there is a beautiful garden, mainly to say Nandana garden. Garden is beautiful, lakes are beautiful, and all are bright, brilliant, trees are full of flowers, fruits, etc. And that city was built by Vishwakarma. That city was built by Vishwakarma and was surrounded like a moat by holy Ganga of heaven. And it is moated by holy Ganga and by high walls resplendent like fire and having on their tops battlements for use in time of war. It had doors, that means it is covered, it is a very selected, it is a very protected area, so that's why he said that high walls are all around and the Ganga water is going on as it. So it is all circumambulate. The city is surrounded by water, so no one can attack. I think that is the idea. And the wall will protect. And it had doors. It had doors. This Indra's kingdom has the entrance point, the doors with shutters of plated gold. They're all made of gold, towers of crystals, and highways well laid with proper alignment. Road are perfect. eh, And door is, even the door, main entrance door is plated with gold, and towers are full of crystals, and all abounding valuable things Vishwakarma as planned by the celestial architect Vishwakarma. So celestial architect Vishwakarma created this special place of Indra, the kingdom of Indra. Now, as we heard, that Bali is now marching towards Indra's kingdom with all his military forces. 16 verse. It had many assembly halls because it is a description, beautiful description. Indra's heaven. Indra's heaven is there. Indra lives in that. His abode is such like our president's quarters or something like that. It had many assembly halls, courtiers, subsidiary roads, and its several crossroads were lined by high mansions with balconies and sit-outs made of coral and studded with diamonds. Baba, a rich city condition. It is full of wealth, prosperity, and see roads are so beautiful, and high mansions on the roadside. The balconies are protruded, and there is a place for sit out, and those are made of coral and studded with the diamonds. Resplendent like rays of fire. So it is so beautiful, using spotless colors. They are moving all around everywhere. The wind deity, the god, lord of wind, about wind deity is ever present to welcome visitors. That means cool breeze welcomes the visitors, as it were, with gentle breeze, rendered fragrant with a sweet smell of fresh Saugandhika flowers. A special flower, very fragrant flower, Saugandhika, Sugandha, fresh Saugandhika flowers, and the air is very pleasing air. Wind deity, ever present, welcome visitors as it were with gentle breeze. That means no hot to sun to enjoy. It is like a beautiful breeze flows there. The flowers are smell like that of Saugandhika, Sugandha, fallen flowers fallen from the braids of celestial women. So they are from their hair, they put the flowers, and that is falling down, they creating the wind, the breeze, and also the flowers, fragrant flowers. Through the gold inlaid windows of the mansions, through which celestial women were seen to pass up and down, came out thick and grey clouds of smoke from burning frankincense spreading on to the roads. From the windows, the ladies, celestial women, they can be seen to pass up and down. They're going their room maybe and coming out, and you can see that the windows, through the windows, thick and grey clouds of smoke is coming. But that smoke is what? Burning the frankincense. Beautiful, fragrant, what we call the doop, spreading on to the roads, and they're throwing into the road, so the road becomes very fragrant. Everywhere there are decorations of pearl strings, flagstaffs inlaid with gold, and studded with precious stones. Many banners of variegated colors and sea sizes, and balconies are all decorated with bunting. The atmosphere was filled with the sound of peacocks, doves, humming bees. They mingled with the sweet and auspicious music of the celestial women. They're so occupying the mansions of the city. So everything is singing, dancing, wealth, prosperity, flowers, fruits, etc. Everywhere, and beautiful women, and their moving celestial women occupying their mansions in the city. Every other attraction was overpowered by the sonorous heavenly music, and every other attraction was there, but they're overpowered by sonorous heavenly music, in which was combined the booming sounds of various instruments like mridanga, conch, drums, and timekeeping cymbals with the sweet strains of Bina, Muraja, Rishti, flute, and with the songs of the demigods accompanying dances of heavenly dancers. So, what can be described is a description of the place of Indra. The realm is never attained by persons. This realm, this Indra's region, the Indra's place, is never attained by persons who are violators of the moral law, evildoers, oppressors of others, and persons who are cruel, conceited, licentious, or greedy. That means this Indra's special heavenly abode is unique, and only their good people, those who have done good job. What are the people? Never attended by, it was never, they're violators of the moral law. They cannot enter there. Evildoers, or oppressors of others, or persons who are cruel, conceited, and licentious, or greedy. That means this heaven of Indra's place is meant for that people who are good, well behaved, and gentle and mannered, not for the violators of the moral law, those who are doing evil actions, those who oppresses others, persons who are cruel or conceited or licentious or greedy, they have no entrance here, never been visited by that. That is the protected area of Indra. Now, Mahabali, now as we heard, Mahabali with his army was moving, and he was the commander of the Asura forces, now besieged the city of Indra with his army. Now, so he is all powerful now. So getting the power from the Saptarishis and others, as we just heard, Bali then entered into the kingdom of Indra. So Mahabali, the commander of the Asura forces, now besieged the city of Indra with his army. Mahabali besieged the city of Indra with his army. He blew his mighty conch, which is presented to him by Acharya, the teacher. Acharya gave him some, so he first blew his mighty conch, generating fear in the minds of the women of the heavenly realm. So all these heavenly realm people, ladies were in a very peaceful mood, and Mahabali went there and blew his conch shell, and that generated fear in the minds of the women. Seeing all these military preparations of Mahabali, Indra with all the devas approached their teachers. So Indra and his other gods who were there, what to do? Suddenly Mahabali has entered Bali in the kingdom of Indra. So the Indra and others then prayed to the Lord God. Oh, honored sir, our old enemy Mahabali is making now another effort to conquer us. It is impossible for me to bear with his conduct. How has he become powerful again? So that is praying to the Lord God. Indra and his other gods are praying to Narayana. Oh, honored sir, here is our old enemy, Mahabali again has entered here. Mahabali is now making an effort, another effort, to conquer us again from the heaven. It is impossible for me to bear with his conduct. How has he become so powerful? So that was the question. He was praying to the Narayana. No one will now be powerful enough to meet him in battle. It looks as if he is going to swallow the whole world, lick up the regions, and burn up everything by his look. He is fierce as fire that comes out of the mouth of Sankarsana at the time of cosmic deluge. So the warrior, big warrior, this Asura, Bali, is now coming here and he's swallowing us and again making an attempt to conquer the heaven and trying to throw us out. Please tell me, O Lord, how our enemy has acquired this irresistible might. Where did they get it? This power. How did he get this power of body and mind and the courage that have emboldened him to attack us? So, what has happened? Why did it happen? Please tell us. The teacher said, O Indra, I know that the cause of enhancement of these powers of your enemy is that the Bhrigus, his teacher Shukra, and his disciples, who are great experts in the Vedic lore, have imparted their own Brahminic power to them. So they have become powerful because, Shukra, the teacher of the demons, and his disciples, and the great experts of Vedic lore, Brahmins, they have imparted this power, Brahminic power. It is the Brahminic power of them imparted to Bali, and Bali has become now invincible. Neither you nor other celestials like you can stand before him now. Because as a man cannot stand before Jama, the deity of death, so you cannot stand before. He has become so powerful by the power of the Brahminic power. Only Srihari can face him. So it is not for you. Sorry, I said that they're asking to Narayana. No, it is not Narayana. It is Narayana. No, it is not Narayana. He's asking to the teacher of the Devas are Shukra, demon, the guru of the teacher of the gurus, Asuras, and who is the guru? Who is the guru of Sura, Devatas? Brihaspati. So he's asking Brihaspati, how it happened, who empowered them, and what it is happening. So Brihaspati said, you cannot do anything. It has been come by the Brahminic power, and it is Hari, Lord Hari can only face him. Therefore, you all abandon the heavenly region now and go into the hiding until the time turns against the enemy and tends to his downfall. So now he said, so Brihaspati told that you cannot do anything. Only Lord God, Narayana, he can face this situation. Therefore, you all give up all the heavenly region now, run away and go into the hiding place. And you hide yourself until proper time will turn against the enemy and tends to his downfall. So you cannot fight with Bali. He is so much powerful. So you go, run away from your place and hide your identity in some other place until wait for the time, proper time, when the some until bully downfall comes. Now, 31 verse. Now, because of the powers of holy men behind him, he has benefited immensely, and his power is at its zenith now. So it is not your power, you can do anything. In course of time, disrespect shown to these men will in itself be the cause of his downfall as well as of all his followers. So his guru, Brihaspati, said that don't worry about anything, just go and hide yourself and till the karma, good karma of Bali exhausts. And he got this power by what Brahminic power, and now he has become powerful at his zenith, in the highest point. And in course of time, his mind will be disrespectful. Disrespect shown to these men will be in itself the cause of his downfall, as his followers, as well as of his followers, and he will be lose his love and respect for the holy men. Then that will be the downfall. Thus, after the deliberation with their wise teacher of great insight, that is the Brihaspati, the Devas left their heavenly region disguised in different forms. So they left it and disguised themselves in different forms and disappeared from heaven, from Indra's kingdom. When the Devas thus disappeared, Bali, the son of Virochana, took possession of the heavenly citadel of the Devas and making it his capital, controlled all the three worlds. So he took the position of the Indra and took up all the heavenly quarters and he made his capital where he controlled the three worlds, earth, heaven, and controlled all the three worlds. Shukra, who loved his obedient and victorious disciples Bali, made him perform 100 horse sacrifice. Now comes the guru of Bali, that is the Shukra, who loved his obedient and victorious disciple Bali, made him perform 100 horse sacrifice. It is called Aswamedha Jagna, for the retention of the power and status he had gained. So now he has become the king, but he said that now you do 100 Aswamedha Jagna. So that the The practice is that the horse will go in any direction, and all the kings will have to accept the, the obedience under Bali. They will be there. Otherwise, they will be the Bali's military force will get into war and kill them and destroy the others. And by force, they will conquer the other country. So, 100 horses sacrifice for the retention of the power. Retention of power, he got it already. It will be retained and its status will be gained. By this efficiency of these horses sacrifice, Bali's reputation spread everywhere in all the three worlds, and he shone like the moon everywhere. So he sent that did that jagna of 100 Ashwamedas, and then his glory, Bali became so powerful, reputation, full of reputation, and he spread everywhere in all three worlds, and he shone like a moon everywhere. That means he is became the king of the entire universe. With a complete sense of fulfillment, Bali enjoyed the power and opulence he had gained through the power of holy men. So, main point is that to the power of the holy men, Bali got this, and he, by instruction of his guru, Brihaspati, sorry, by Bali's the guru Shukra, they performed a 100 horse sacrifice jagna, and his glory become known to everywhere, and everywhere he become very famous. So here is the end of the 15th chapter. Next day we'll start 16th chapter. So here is the end. The reading that this Bhagavat Mahapurane, Paramahansa Samhita, Ashtam Skande, Panchadasodhaya. 15th chapter ends here. That Boli became the king, he became powerful. Indra and others left their palace and left their kingdom, and they are hiding in different, taking different forms of non-recognizable form here and there. And we'll read the chapter, 16th chapter, next day. This is the end of 15th chapter. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So we'll meet again at 7:30 the Seta Sitra Upanishad class. Thank you all who are on the line, all of you. Mother bless us all. Thank you.